people.
For sure.
What's good, man? How y'all doing?
Man,
Good, bro.
blessed and highly flavored.
Flavored?
Yes.
I can't complain.
Different. You came in with a different hairstyle.
Yeah, man. It's a wig.
Is it?
Nah.
Touch on that.
Nah, it's Bantu knots, man. It's a lovely time. Very cultural. It's cool. I was supposed to get a lineup, hence this, bandana situation. But, things happen. Sometimes, your barber cancels appointment 30 minutes before you're supposed to have it. But it's all... No, but in all serious note, if that gentleman is very professional, I hope everything's okay. Because more than likely, something serious probably happened.
Sure.
I got a haircut today, too, actually.
How was that?
It was cool. Went to Great Clips. Basic hairstyle, number 6.
Sound like a
Around
porn
the
site.
sides. Little off the top with scissors.
Okay. Little razzle dazzle.
Yeah. I was telling Jack, it's funny that you brought him, so I didn't expect it, but I was thinking recently, I was like, I got to get Jack Union back up here for an update. It's been a little while.
That's a fact.
Both of y'all is kind of update. You is like, I think a third, fourth time, maybe third on the pod.
I've been around, yeah.
First time, it was like you were on like with us early. Like when we sat the crew here, kind of like I had co-hosts. Yeah.
I do remember that because we was.
I think it was you and Bruce the first time.
Yeah, because we got to talking about a bunch of stuff. I think chicken came up at some point.
Chicken came up. I feel like y'all was telling me about chicken in Atlanta.
Yeah,
spot.
Sound about right.
I'm not surprised.
Between me and Bruce fat ass, we both just like, yeah, chicken. Like I see us talking about chicken for an extended period of time and being passionate about it.
Maybe we can start there. Like just touch on
chicken.
You could touch on chicken as well, but just being people like on the scene that's kind of just still going. Like I've known you probably for maybe 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
Just by coming to your shows, kind of just discovering you on the scene. Maybe just touch on that, like just being somebody who's still going, chasing this dream. We haven't really got to the point where we want to be at. We still in the city. We still kind of going. I don't know, like, what's your perspective with where you are right now, how far you came, like, shit like that.
Man, this shit sucks. Nah, I'm playing. But but in all seriousness, it can definitely be a struggle. I would say we've kind of gotten to a point. We're at a very interesting space where it's like we've kind of ascended to a really good point, but we're not really. It's like one of them things where if like you going upstairs and you can see there's another level, but you don't see any fucking stairs. And I'm 5'6", so it's like I can't jump and get that fuck. So it's like kind of, But so I think right now, and what I like about the project is like I feel like it's kind of on us to be creative to figure out how we can get ourselves in the next space. Because I've even had little moments where I'm like, damn, am I not doing enough shit? Am I not getting booked enough and stuff? But I'll talk to other people and like they see us like on some goat shit for real. Like I'll be saying that out of confidence, but motherfuckers really be like looking at niggas like that. And I'm like, oh, thank you, but I'm also not from the lot right now. So it's one of them things where I think we have to remember our position, where we came from, where we're going. And that's what I'm excited to see is, the next level and shit.
Sure.
I see you're like doing fucking, like touching on like different ways to promote yourself, marketing. Like you're going around, I think Boundaries is a song, like playing for people in the streets. Yeah. Is that the first time you did something like that? Yeah,
for sure. And I enjoy it too because that was definitely like uncomfortable for me. And it still is. It definitely is.
Just asking people just to fucking listen to it?
Yeah, because like the idea of it is like cool. And it's funny because it's like the first thing I think is like when I was younger, like working sales and shit like that, I'm like, motherfucker, I can walk up to hey, you want to hear this and be charming and shit. Right. But then the reality hits in when you actually got to walk up to random people and be like, hi, I put out a song.
You did seem a little like... not nervous, but he was like, hey.
Oh, for sure.
Like you were like timid a little bit.
In at first.
Definitely. But I'll say what's very rewarding about it, one is just like, just meeting people is really cool. But like, for me, it establishes a better confidence in the music. Because sometimes I'll be forgetting we nice as fuck.
Confidence of yourself and your own confidence.
The music for sure. Because it's like, I genuinely make music that I enjoy. But then there's also still the business aspect of like, me personally, my goals for my music, like I do like the aspect of me making shit that I like, but I'm also very cognizant of marketing, consumers, like people like doing things for it to be,
what they will respond to.
Damn sure.
Yeah.
So it's like when you see people like listening and they're genuinely like, oh shit, like this is nice. Like even today we had a young lady was listening to the song and it was funny because she was like, oh, this shit is good. And then she's like, I'm not trying to be nice for the camera. Like, this is actually good. And I'm like, yeah, bitch. Respectfully.
Yeah. What about you, bro? Like, kind of, I guess, same question. You want to touch on where you are right now? You have a family, like you have kids. You have multiple kids or one kid?
Just one.
Having a kid, being creative. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. It's almost like you can kind of like gauge your goals. I'm nowhere where I was 3 years ago, but I'm nowhere where I want to be in regard to like my ultimate goal, which I think isn't a bad thing. I think that's like a good pocket. That's a healthy pocket for you to have goals, have something that's achievable, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 12, 1 to 3 years, and see if you can work at those things to go towards this larger goal. I feel like at the end of the year, if we aren't at the larger goal, it doesn't necessarily mean that we should stop or it wasn't worth anything. I feel like just gauging the success based on like a business. You know what I'm saying? A business may have a goal to become a multi-million-dollar business, but if it's starting from ground up, you can't expect that within 2 years of a return unless it's a crazy industry that you're in.
What I would say, like, is different about the arts, like in a business, you can probably gauge your success, like in just your sales or your growth in the business year
Based
by
on
year.
Straight numbers, yeah.
So it's like in art, especially like in this, it's like a lot of times that people say it takes that 10 years to master the craft and really get in that position to go to the next level.
For sure.
So in that 10 years, I found it frustrating sometimes to like what to gauge your growth on.
Yeah.
And for me, it's been easiest to gauge it on like just my comfort, like my confidence in my skill. So I feel like I can look back over time and see myself getting like incrementally better.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm gauging my my growth on, not really the numbers at this point.
1,000%.
You know what I mean?
1,000%. No matter the metric. I think that's a healthy metric to actually have. I don't think, though we may be like, yeah, we businesses for sure as we move around as artists, as producers, as creatives. But keep in mind that we can't have the rigid goals that a regular straight financial business would have. Like, it is still the arts. The art is just a commodity at this point. We have to figure out how to sell. And a lot of those metrics that we may have, I don't think should be based on all numbers at all, especially for growth. You know
Especially in today's days, 'cause I feel like we can't really trust numbers.
That's a
like, I
fact.
feel like we came up in an era where it was like men lie, women lie, but numbers
Right.
don't. But honestly, I think it's the opposite. Like, I feel like people are what matters. What the men and the women say actually does matter, I feel like, more than the numbers.
That's a fact.
Because numbers are just inflated, they're faked, whatever. Like,
That's a fact. Like, going back to what you was talking about with schools going out to the people, I think that's important. I think that part of it should be a metric. Becoming comfortable around people being a 3 to 6 month goal, so that I can go up and play a record and see what they're talking about. So that can become a part of this content rollout that I have. I keep knocking on the mic, my fault. But so that this can become, you gotta chill, bro. You gotta
what do you say? What do you say?
He always out of pocket, bro. Just always out of
Some
pocket.
pause shit?
Yeah, I just did low key so no one heard me but him. I was like,
No, I was watching my bad to cut y'all. I was watching your All for Art segment recently too. You had a pause on there too. He was like, something. I just take what life's give me, swallow it up, spit it back out. He was like, pause, some shit. I was like,
Yeah, that's the worst thing to say around this thing. Yeah.
oh,
but yeah. So you talking about like the metrics and the numbers and shit.
For sure. I think, yeah, bro, all in all, I just think that a healthy metric to have, like I said, maybe becoming more comfortable around your fans and building a personal fan base that you know. Like, you know these fans. Not just numbers, not just objective. Nah, I know I have people. When I pull up in New York, I know people know me. They'll say, yo, Skuzii, yo, Union, yo, Selmir, what's up? Like, that's different than just looking at numbers themselves. You get what I'm saying? And I think that'll be good to throw in. I don't think we should get lofty-headed or like super big-headed about any numbers that may show up. Because like you said, bro, we're in 2023, about to be 2024. Numbers can be manipulated so easily. And though it may have been something that an upper echelon tier of people could do at a point in time, like years ago, now everybody got access to inflated numbers. So you can't necessarily trust that. You trust the impact. Like, if I have a show in New York City, are these tickets gonna sell and are people gonna show up excited about what you have to do in the city? You know what I'm saying? That's a metric.
You see, Spotify just fucking is it Spotify?
They on
changed the
bullshit.
rule or the law.
Under-
Well, they say you could do what they say 80% of it can be fake or something like that.
shit. I was hip to the
even
1K rule.
What's that?
Hip to so essentially, because they're trying to get rid of like a certain pretty much they ain't trying to pay, like, you know how it costs more to pay a motherfucker a small amount than just cash you out a big amount. So essentially,
Wait, what do you mean?
so like, you know, like let's say I have I got fucking Squarespace or some shit, or just anything like with like a car, right? And I only made $3 as opposed to 3,000. It might cost the company a certain amount of percentage of that just to send you that money. So some companies will find ways to get around, even send you some shit. Like, for example, United Masters, those bitch ass niggas, because I have $49.80 with these bitch ass niggas, and I can't get my money because it has to be a minimum of $50, and I don't have any more shit on there. That being said, Spotify has.
Oh, you took your music down off it?
It wasn't paid, so it came down. So yes,
I actually just got the email from them today. They took down but I only put out like 2 songs with them.
They must be cleaning house because they did. Because Infinite Vibes is with them, so I got to put it up through TuneCore. But the
1K rule.
Yeah, Spotify essentially, if your song doesn't get more than 1,000 plays in a year. So not when it came out, like Shrimp Quesadillas that made 1,000 plays in 2017, but only got 200 in 2023. I can't get paid for it.
Oh, I have to have a 1K every year.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then you can get paid. So you start off at 1K, and then so pretty much they're saying if you a bitch ass nigga and you ain't got no fans, then you can't get your money. Suck my dick. What you gonna do? And but for real, that's actually what they're doing.
For me, it just really comes down to, because I don't think we've ever really established what a stream is worth. So we don't really know what it's worth. So we don't know how much they're making, how much we're even supposed to be making.
Yeah. I think it suppresses the value of like your back catalog.
Man.
Because I think that's where the cash was as an artist.
It was a devaluing, you said, of it?
Yeah, it pushes the value down, because now the streams that could be rolling in, well, the goal is to have 1,000 people short a year going to your content, but streaming everything may be tough. The back catalog was a spot where a lot of like new fans will go to. People who are super fans may try and go and listen, but a lot of the percentages, if 100 people listen to the song, all 100 or not even 50 are going to be super fans. We're talking about like 20%. So 20 of those people are going to be super fans who will go in. That'll probably account for only 20 streams. So if we're looking at stuff like that, it may be kind of tough to.
But at the end of the day, you still have super fans that they're still making money off of, but you're not. Even if it's 2 people.
Yeah,
that's 2 people that are supporting my music on your platform. I should be getting something.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's one person.
You know and I think you're entitled, and we are entitled as people who have music on that platform to have access to the money that we generate. Not it being so like you have to reach this certain amount. This is the minimum before you can do a thing. But we also got to be conscious that when one door closes, another door opens, and where there are limitations, it's a lot of creativity that could come about. So with access to those people, if we know that those people are actually listening in those spots, if they give us some metrics that are real, then we might be able to reach them in a different way to capitalize on them wanting to support the brand itself. You know what I'm saying? Because for real, that may be just the easiest way for them in the moment to support the brand. But if it doesn't make any money and they're only streaming on Spotify, then it could be another outlet that you could offer. Maybe a digital download of something that's $1.99 or something that's 99 cents on your site. That'll be like a keepsake for them. Or that's like, yo, you support, we appreciate it. And you send them like something. You know what I'm saying? Creativity could come about now.
It's fucked up because all these different technologies that come out, it's like it makes the listener, it sucks the listener in with convenience.
Yeah, for sure.
So now, like back in the day when it was CDs and shit, like everybody was accustomed to having to put in work to go find music that you like. You have to go out, you have to go there, buy it, whatever. Even the act of discovering it was a little more lengthy of a process than just like getting on Twitter and people telling you what's hot.
That's a fact.
So now they got everybody used to just getting it so conveniently just in their pocket. It's like they fucked us up now. Because they made everybody like so used to that convenience. Now it's like small time artists can't really compete.
Yeah.
The same thing with businesses. Like that's why a lot of mom and pop shops shut down because they can't compete with like bigger business.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talking about a few different things bouncing around. You touched a little bit on the album, going around playing people boundaries.
Yeah.
The album is called Invite Only.
Invite Only.
What's up with that? Touch on that. Also, I noticed that it's not called a listening party; it's a music presentation for the album. That's next Friday. What? Yeah, touch on that. Touch on that.
Yeah, man. You want me to elaborate?
Bro, yeah, that's
Okay, bet. So, we didn't discuss it prior, but that's all right because we on the same motherfucking
Yeah, bro, we
wavelength. Yeah, so pretty much the whole thing with invite only is just like we want to make sure that our audience like knows how special they are. And that's really been a lot of the shaping and rebranding that's come with this project. Even the party itself. It's like we do want to give the feeling of exclusivity, like, nigga, this is that shit. But at the same time, it's just like, hey, we know you looking over here, you waiting on this. You might have heard little clips. And like even some of the way that it's been put out, like for example, I might have had a picture I put up where I was like low-key playing the song in the background. And I'll have somebody in that bitch like everybody's like, oh, okay, this picture's cool. But then that one person's like, hey, what's that fucking song? I'm like, invite only. So part of it now, while everybody is welcome to the party, of course, as far as the entire thing, essentially we're starting to tap in on some shit that's like, we really want to lean into, you know, our eccentricities. You feel what I'm saying?
What are your eccentricities?
You got it.
I feel like I've
gotta
been
come to the
slowly
party,
realizing
right?
more and more that I may be eccentric.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay.
I would say for
What do
us.
you mean by that?
Oh, yeah. So for us, and especially what you're going to hear with the project, is we found really dope ways to adapt and combine different fields of music. Some stuff like culturally, other shit, you know, just experimenting with. And it's crazy because we was talking about when it goes into marketing, how some of that can be a little difficult to push.
Yeah, for sure.
What can be difficult to push? The different types of sounds on it?
When you start
Genre
combining
bending.
shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like for example, like the shit you was playing, like the ocean track, like that in itself, bro, there's calypso in there. There's like alternative sad boy keys in that shit. It gets a little housey at the end, but it all makes sense when you listen to it. But I think what's dope about us, and then like and just our background musically and culturally is like I thought you was about to say something because I seen them.
Oh, no, my
fault. Yeah.
Being respectful.
Yeah. Pardon? Nah, but we found really intricate and dope ways to make all these things fit. So it's not like, because you have some people who do that where like obviously like certain club music is starting to get more popular, but it's like, you know, if you're from here, you've been hearing like Baltimore club music since you was probably like 12, 11 niggas doing SpongeBob and shit like that. You know, for us, especially having a Caribbean background, like a lot of us phrases on soca and calypso and shit like that. And me, I've always wanted to combine that into the music, but you don't want it to sound forced. It's like again, it's like forcing a nigga into a party where it just looks cool to be there, but it's like this shit don't make no fucking sense. Not this though. This actually does, and that's what I'm excited about too. It's like we hit this good sweet spot.
Yeah, I really feel like you on from the stuff you sent me, I feel like house music vibe.
Yeah.
You always had kind of more like up tempo music where you could dance to it, but I feel like this one is really like geared more towards making you dance. Is that correct?
Yeah,
For sure.
and I'm gonna keep it a buck too. Just making it. Some of it is like. I want to say a lot of it is just like shit I wanted to hear in general. Because it's like, I can make introspective music. I've made introspective music. I mean, even some of this is introspective where the sounds are like, you know, coming off, you know, more serious or doing storytelling and shit like that. But keep it a buck. I'm like, nigga, I am not trying to like pull up with a low vibrational plate. I'm trying to have some fun too.
Yeah.
So it's like, we can still talk about what we going through and the content can still be relative to our day-to-day life. But I want to have a little more fun. Like, I want some shit I can fucking move around to. But at the same time, like, test ourselves creatively too, and push it, and like so that we're not doing the same shit over and over, which is okay for some people, for some brands. But I like, you know, expanding musically. I like pushing and like trying to do new and different shit for us at least, you know.
I don't know if it's okay for any brand. I mean, everything gets old at some point.
Yeah.
I think that's the main reason companies and brands don't stand the test of time is they get stagnant. And they don't do new shit anymore. Or like that's why I kind of don't like TikTok culture, because everybody's so used to doing trends and not really like something goes viral, they hop on the trend, you know, you can get some views from it, but then you just get locked into doing what everybody else is doing. You don't ever create your own thing.
Man.
And then once that trend dies, you die along with it.
That's a lot of music.
Yeah.
Also, just to be clear, are you performing at the event? Is it a listening party? Is it invite only, or can anybody come to this shit?
Oh no, this shit is definitely.
Because I feel like that was
invite only.
confusing. Like I don't know if it was open to all or invite only.
Oh yeah, nah. If you got the link, then you can come. But that's
So it's
Gotta
it's
chill.
invite only.
it
then?
is definitely invite only.
Okay.
Yeah. If you show up to this location uninvited and you ain't talk to me, you're gonna leave different. Do not pull up if you weren't invited. As far as the listening party is concerned, the music, everybody is welcome. Please get it, but don't show up to that address if you have it, unless you were invited. But that being said, nah, it's not really gonna be a performance thing. I want it to be a celebration. Like we're celebrating the project being out. It's a presentation. It's me showing you all these things where it's like, what have you been working on? Allow me to show you. But the whole atmosphere is going to be relative to the music though. So it's not like you're just showing up somewhere. It's a motherfucker just playing some songs. It's Hennessy or nothing like that. Ain't nothing wrong with that either. But we take a lot of pride in our brand and making sure that we do provide an experience. So what you get when you do show up to these things or anything that it is that we do, whether it be this, whether if it's a Finesse Friday event at Charlotte's Southern Deli and Tapas in Richmond, Virginia, everything is catered to the overall theme. And that's also what I'm excited for is like for that to be shown and for people to be able to experience that with us and just, create a memory for people.
What was that thing you just plugged? That quick plug right there?
Charlotte's Southern Deli and Tapas. It's a lovely, lovely restaurant in Richmond, Virginia at 200 South 10th Street.
Beautiful establishment.
Is that where you've been performing outside at?
Mostly, yeah.
How's that been? I seen you've been doing that a lot. I feel like you've been posting a lot on YouTube as well, or just performances and shit like that.
Yeah, we haven't in a little while, but that's just because we really wanted to focus on the album. Prior to that, we were doing it, I want to say bi-monthly. A great time. We actually built a really good culture of people there. I really love those events. I'm really excited to get back into it. But usually the structure of it is, it's a donation-based event. So you can show up as long as you got $1 or more. You're welcome to pull up. Nikki and Paul, the owners of Charlotte's, they make very, very good cocktails, usually curated to every event. Sure. Every event is themed.
Shout out Nikki and Paul.
Yes, big shout out to Nikki and Paul. For if they weren't letting us do it, it wouldn't be possible. Usually I DJ a little bit. DJ Stu DJs as well. Certain somebody might also be, the featured DJ soon.
Hey,
at some point.
We out here.
Hello,
Jack, Mr. Union.
Yeah, on the ones and the twos. And then
you know you were doing shit like that.
Yeah, bro, we out here, man.
Okay,
part of the invite.
I'm listening.
But then we have different performances too. Like I'll play sax there. I do a sax set. I do try to get other performers who are relative. We've had Ronnie Lux perform there. Tyrone Leak. Sure. Bobby Blaze has performed. Teezy So Dope. I try to always include somebody from the 7-5 and somebody from the 804 as well too.
I see when Bobby was up there. These are the outside performances.
Yeah, that's a little different, but he definitely was an early supporter of the outside shit. Buddha.
I seen you have been starting a show as well. You guys have a podcast? You and I forgot bro's name now.
Oh, me and Phil.
Yeah, how's that been going?
Yeah, for sure, it's been going good.
Paper Talk, right?
Yeah, Paper Talk. We just been.
Y'all been slacking on dropping, but I seen y'all started dropping some shit.
Definitely have, bro. Everybody's album mode in album mode right now. So I'm finishing Skuzii joint, a few other homies that's recently released. So yeah, for sure. Working on the system, probably got to get with you on how to streamline that a bit better. But yeah, bro, we've been working, figuring out different systems, tapping into what works, what doesn't, and just wanted to have an outlet where we could just talk shit and rap. I think it's another good way to just also for people to get to know a side of me that they don't necessarily see. If they always see me cooking up, always see me pulling up with a lot of artists that I do work with, a lot of content isn't necessarily geared towards me just rapping or me just talking about a topic or even with the homies just talking about a topic. And I think that's still good content and a good way for people to figure out, who is this nigga? What is he talking about?
I guess as a producer, like you don't really ever talk.
Facts.
In your craft. Like artists, you have the chance to speak in your music, say certain things.
Like a motherfucker.
But you don't really ever hear the producer talk.
Yeah. It's all through the music, for real. It's all through the music, making the canvas the best canvas to support the art that the artist is going to put on it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, aside from that, having an outlet to talk, I think is just beneficial in regard to promoting your brand altogether. It's just another side of you or me, you know what I'm saying? So,
how much production did you do on Invite Only?
All of it.
Oh, Ollie produced everything?
Yeah, all of it, pretty much. And
all
then,
by yourself, or no one ever on this at all?
No one ever on post-production, doing a lot of mixing, and a lot of mastering, which is just finalizing everything. So yeah, brought no one ever the production team in on that. But me and Skuzii set up everything in regard to the pretty much the bulk of the production of the project. You know what I'm saying? So
Who we got? That boy. You said touch on that boy Stu. I seen him. Where I see his ass?
Waffle House.
At Waffle House?
I'm fucking with you. It's an inside joke. I'll tell you later.
It might have actually been. I seen him at like.
I really hope it was.
I'm glad to see that you guys are also cool too. Like you see people, like people over the year. Like I said, I've known you for like 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
We seen rappers already. Just over these years, just quit.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers just not around no more, or they're not cool with the people they was cool with. So like you, fucking Stu. That's who else with you? I met Brian.
Yeah.
Where that boy Brian at? You still cool with Brian?
Oh yeah, that's my dog. We was at a Barris Hammond concert not long ago.
Who?
Barris Hammond.
Who the fuck is that?
Jesus,
Man.
he's the,
That sound like an old person.
yeah, bro. I'm about to start sweating curry.
Who is that?
he's a very, very renowned reggae artist.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, like
he up there.
he's like Elvis.
Come on, bro.
Nah,
Come
but
on, bro.
nah, he's definitely one of the I won't say oldest, but seasoned performers. He's been performing a long time.
Yeah, great performer, man. Great
Yeah.
performer. His music is fire. A lot of like Caribbean staples. Just his records.
So you touched on also before the show, like you haven't been performing much. What's been the idea behind that?
Shit, man, I'm just been trying to focus on getting this done. I would say unintentionally what's been happening and what I put a little bit more intention on it, like once I realized it is, it's like, I kind of just wanted to clear my palate because it's like, you know, I, at not even at one point, for a very long time, was performing so frequently that it's like, you know, for me, things can, I wouldn't get stagnant, but the formula gets very similar. And I do things to spice it up. You know, I'll throw like this in there. Like I find a lot of different ways to challenge myself. So I think that's why like my sets can be very entertaining. Cause in like 20 minutes, you might go from dancing to getting some bars, depending on the environment, it might be some serious shit. And for me, it was cool to like kind of like just take a break from it again, initially not intentionally, and just for me be like, okay, cool. So when I come back, it'll be different. It'll feel a little different. And that's not a bad or a good thing. It's just, you know, mixing it up a little bit. It's like eating salmon every day. It's tasty, but goddamn.
What she say on the Drake album? You eating fucking jerk chicken every day? You know what I'm talking about?
I'm hip, but I'm like,
She's like, nah, the jerk chicken is fire though. Yeah, spicing it up. I don't know. Yeah, it's about like trying different shit. Like even on like the different content. I just feel like for me personally, I've like learned to love it. And I feel like it's like another level of expressing myself.
yeah.
Like I was making music that felt like expressing myself, but now it's like with this, I almost feel like I like this even more. And there's like more things I can do. Like with the song, you can kind of just, I mean, you can make the beat, and you can write the lyrics and do the song. And it's like 3 things you could do. I mean, now you can say different things, have different vibes.
Right.
But I feel like with like videos, and I want to get into movies, it's just I feel like it's more possibilities and like even more ways to express yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Less boxes. Well, I don't know about that. I can't necessarily speak to that, but a lot more creativity. I could for sure see that, especially on the visual side.
Kind of depends on like if that's an itch for you to scratch. Like
For
if
sure.
you one of them people, because you know, if you like a creative, you can sometimes you can feel it. Like if you're not doing something that's sparking that part of your brain after a couple of days, like you get to itching.
Yeah.
Like I know I get real crap. Like that's how I notice. Like sometimes with stuff like this, I have to be mindful because like if I get to doing too much like marketing type shit or like just stuff that it's relative to music but it's not the music, in my head I think I'm doing it, but then like I haven't like lifted like that weight. Like I'm just like, fuck man, why do I feel like man? And then
Right.
Like the act of making stuff you want.
yeah, sometimes I
Yeah.
just gotta fucking open up my laptop and just start working on some shit.
Yeah. Just create. For sure.
Yeah, for me, I feel like it's just it was an obsession. Now I feel like it's just muscle memory, and I feel like we were maybe touching on this on your last episode. But yeah, just being creative is almost like it's like a muscle.
Yeah.
It's like the more you do it, really, I think also it gets like your skill level gets up, but then your comfortability. You just get more comfortable with trying different things.
For sure.
I seen you been doing like trying different content as well. Just like it was like this Jack Union, this another song I produced.
Oh, yeah,
just
for
like
sure.
Also, I like that you're doing that,
Yeah.
but I don't like at the same time how these platforms are forcing people to do extra shit
Yep.
just to get seen. Because sometimes like it's like taking a mystery out. Sometimes a song or a project or like an artist, like that mystique of them not doing so much is part of what makes it great.
Right.
So it's like you're forcing people to like almost sometimes not just like do things that aren't them.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So I kind of like that aspect of it, or like the rat race of the game.
Yeah. You know how
Shit
it
like
is.
that.
And like you said, the more you do it, the more comfortable you become at doing that thing. I feel like it's just that side. You know what I'm saying? I like doing it. I like doing it because I'm trying to build up
The marketing part.
Well, yeah, for sure. I like coming up with other creative ideas. We'll get up in the session and just have a slate of just all marketing ideas for like 2 hours. Just come up with figuring out ways to how can we market this? What we gonna do? What's new? And it gotta be creative to us. Something that I like. Not necessarily, or that schools like, you know what I'm saying? That we find funny, that we think is cold. We probably are gonna have more of a heart to run it and pursue that than doing it because someone else did it and seen success, or this is kind of like the metric of how to release, or this is like the template of how to have a rollout as an independent artist. You know what I'm saying? Like just doing shit because you wanna grow and do shit. And without having any I guess, second thought because it's not the custom or the norm. Kind of like that TikTok point you made. Like, everybody's creating to the trend. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's creating
A few people are creating the trends.
Well, yes, of
Then
course,
it's
of
the
course.
masses of fucking...
Yeah, a large percentage, a large majority of people who see the trend just try and follow it. And just why not do something because you want to do it? And that means like from creation of an artist, from writing, from production. Like I was talking to a visual artist, one of my homies who's out in Miami. Like shout out John, but this kind of like, I broke it down like this. It's kind of like the industry has a canvas and green in the top right corner is what's popping right now. So everybody's asking for green in the top right corner. But today I'm feeling like that shit got to be blue. And it's just really having the courage to follow that and shoot the shot and say, fuck it. Because that's your right as an artist. That's your right as a creative. And that's your right as somebody who's trying to pursue some shit that you think is worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Also, plagiarism is just at an all-time high to me on social media, and it's crazy.
Man.
Where people will literally just take somebody's whole video, post it on their page, get the views, get the money from it. Now it's even got to the point where I'm watching a video of somebody else watching the video. You know what I'm talking about?
It's crazy.
This shit is in
It's like
real
a
life,
half
too.
screen. It's the actual content, and then it's somebody else sitting there just watching it, not
Yes.
even adding any value to the
Right.
to the content. I don't like that. I think there's also I think there's actually content like on YouTube Content ID. I think there's a company that does that now, where you make a fucking video or a meme, whatever, you submit it to this thing, and it's like searches the whole internet, and the people can't use it because it's copyrighted.
Oh, word.
So I feel like that we need that, because that's part of that's like the plagiarism shit.
No, I feel you.
That goes into, you know, people just fucking just falling back on that, just doing that.
Yeah, everybody see it and just run with it.
Yeah.
We have people copying our event ideas. Like
what
right
part of
after.
it? Also on events, I think it's really funny because ever since I've known you, every time you tweet or speak about an event, you always talk about taking a shit there. What's up with you taking shits at events?
You can take everything else from me, but you can't take shits like me. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Come on, bro.
I don't know if anybody's in that race or not, but I'm definitely leading the charge.
Think you by yourself, my dog.
That's all right. But nah, like yo, and like my team can attest to this though. Like, well, like for example, I remember we had
My team know I take shits at the show. Every
Don't
time.
nobody shit like me.
Yeah.
But
What the fuck?
fart noises will never not be funny. I don't care how old you get. But yeah, like we would have like different concepts for events. And at one point, I remember, I'm trying to remember what event was the first one we did. I think it was a 2000s themed event. And then I think someone made something kind of relative to it, and I was like, that's interesting. Well, like, you know what? Well, time-based stuff is, you know, people do that. And then we did an anime event. And when I tell you 4 days later, the same fucking person did the same shit, and I was like, oh, okay. At first, I gave you the benefit, but now it's like, it's just us 4 days later. Come on, my G. But
I didn't even see you at the anime event. When was this?
shit. Probably like,
A minute ago, right?
yeah, like March, February, something like that.
Oh, so this year then? Mm-hmm. I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Everybody was just like dressed in anime.
Yeah, it was fun. And I'm not an anime person.
What were you?
Bro, I went on Amazon and
Bro, just
put
an
in,
anime costume.
no, dead ass. That's exactly what I
I think
did.
you was Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer?
Sure.
Dude,
Bro,
Demon
I
Slayer.
don't like demons.
Come on, bro.
Come on. But my team is more like into that shit.
Shout out
And
to the anime lovers.
So you still don't know to this day who you were?
No. But
That's actually that's
everybody
crazy
else
shit.
there was having a great time. But I'm not like, going fake it. You know how motherfuckers be like faking and shit, especially like since it's gotten more cool now.
Yeah.
It's like, I like Dragon Ball Z. And it's like, all right, don't fake it. But what it is, it's fun to be around like other motherfuckers who's into anything or whatever. Like, for example, we had a players ball for my birthday. That was a little bit more up my alley. Had a great time. But and other people who that may not be their thing, they have fun too. So I think sometimes it's cool to like see, and then for me also just to not have no pride in this shit, because obviously when niggas like, y'all should do some animation, I'm like, and then everybody else is like, nah, fuck you. We need to do them like that. And then the people who support our event, a lot of them are really into that culture. So I have a good time when other people having a good time. Because then for me, I'm just gonna blend in. It's like, if you ever see the videos with like black people have fun anywhere, you see a motherfucker at a Russian cookout and shit. Like, so
dancing with everybody.
that's me.
Yes,
I look
feel
like
you.
I'm like, this like might not be my culture, but
I just love a good time.
hello,
I feel you.
yeah.
But for me, you've done it more times than me, so you probably it might be different for you. But for the couple events that I've thrown, I feel like I've always just been stressed out the whole time. Like I never had a good time there. I'm always just trying to make sure everybody else is having a good time.
At the events that you,
Yeah.
That's the first step, man.
But there's only like 2 or 3 of them, so I don't have much experience. Like,
Yeah. That was always my rule, even when we started doing shit with graffiti, was like, I never worried about how many people like arrive. Like, one, I don't do nothing that's gonna put me in a hole. But
as far as like money wise,
yeah. So I want to make sure, one, that, I mean, obviously the finances is like the first thing, just to make sure, because that is stressful than a motherfucker. But and then the next step is just, I'm gonna do some shit. Like, my thing is, if I'm the only person at my shit, I'm gonna have a great time. Now, granted, that doesn't mean I'm gonna be lazy about it and just accept me being there. But my joy is always gonna be the first priority, because it's kind of like, strapping your seatbelt or some shit before the other person, like that whole thing, like where you want to make sure that you straight first. Because like you said, if I'm at my shit and I'm like if I'm the star of the show, like it's my event or I'm the closer, whatever it is, and I'm all fucked up, everything's gonna be fucked up. It's if like you're the head of the shit, and everything trickles down from you, including your attitude. So it's like, if your team see you all fucked up, what the fuck you think everybody else is gonna be like?
yeah.
You gotta have you gotta set yourself up for, greatness and, having a good goddamn time.
You almost gotta set the tone.
Hello?
Set the tone.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, luckily the ones that I'm talking about, like I wasn't really performing, like the off-road events.
Yeah, I'm hip.
Which we might actually do one again before the end of the year. I was thinking about it. I don't know. We did like an appreciation cookout last year, which had like a bunch of people come over here. We fucking cooked, had a few people perform.
That's fire.
So we started out kind of touching on just still doing this shit, being in the city. Maybe we could touch on like just the practice or like all the skills you learn. Like, cause I feel like people will hate on like a local scene. Like, oh, this is local. It's not cool because it's around my area. Like everybody thinks like something is cooler because it's somewhere else. But I feel like there's a lot of important like lessons to learn and coming up in your local scene. You know what I'm saying? How do you guys look at that?
Yeah, I would say, I guess it really depends on your outlet. I was definitely raised community based, like as far as like what's important. Like my grandfather, like that's the reason I like got into music, because he gave me a saxophone when I was like real young, and that like was what got me started. But like I'm not like, well, I'm gonna say I'm not, but my family is not from Virginia. Like a lot of people are military brats. My father's from St. Thomas, my mother's from North Carolina. And so, like, I don't really have any family here. Like, I grew up here, but I also spent a lot of time in those other areas. And the biggest thing I noticed my grandfather, especially when he passed away, was how big of an impact he was to his community and how important he was. And for me personally, that really resonated with me. So, like, I've always felt like I'm a big reflection of my community. All those places I'm from as well too, but like especially here, and how much of a melting pot it is. So it was really important for me to like be outside. But also, if I'm keeping it a buck, at the time when I started performing, you kind of had to be outside. Like there wasn't as much reach as far as like social media is concerned. Like you had to go to open mics and shit. And even back then, that was like the neo soul poetry era. So if you was a rapper, especially like 18, 19, like shout out to like Fuzzy Wednesdays and shit, that was like boot camp for me. Like I got put on the bottom of the list every time I show up at the beginning of the fucking thing. But what it taught me though was like being a better performer and learning shit from like poets or from singers or people who don't rap and like applying that type of shit. So being here and being around that shit, like it it always stuck with me. So moving forward, especially being a little bit more seasoned, it always resonated with me how important it was to be known as like, and also too, it's like your perspective. Because if you just look at yourself as like a local artist, you know you're gonna kind of, I personally feel that you're gonna limit yourself mentally, but at the same time it doesn't mean you gotta get a stick up your ass when people be like, because some people be dickheads about it. I'm like, oh, I support local artists. I'm not a fucking local artist, you punk bitch.
I mean, first of all,
one's ever
everybody's
said
a local artist. You start from somewhere.
You feel
so
me?
you're a local artist somewhere at some point.
It's understanding the perspective, like not limiting yourself, but also being realistic about your situation. Like this is your home base. This is where you at. Like
Or it's like the like building a community.
Yeah.
The aspect of that. It's just like being a politician. That it's like somebody wants to be president, but you never really even got your city behind you.
Right.
Like as an artist, like one of your jobs is like people like attracting to you and like finding a way for people to rally around you and like fuck with you. So if like you do that with you got to start with your city. That's like a practice to do that. And then also it's like I wouldn't say it's like just lock in as a local artist, because that's just like that's part of the world. If you want to blow up to the world, that's part of the world. It's not like, what I'm saying, we blow up here and then it's like, that's it.
you gotta know when to cut the cord though.
The core to what? Being active in the local scene?
Yeah, because people are always gonna look at you different when you're from somewhere. There's always like, in my opinion, of course, I feel like you're gonna get to a point where it's not cool to support you anymore. Which is
That happens. I've noticed that too with like, excuse me, like people will start some shit and then you'll get that initial big support, but then it'll fade off. Like it's almost like the closer you get to it, the like people that supported you in the beginning kind of fade off. But there's like new people come in, like they get replenished with like more and more people, so you don't really see it. But I've noticed that from my bad to cut you off.
No, you good.
I've noticed that on my friend that started a show, and like on Facebook, just with the people that like know him in real life.
yeah.
And then first episode 2, hundreds of likes, go crazy. Yeah, you going up, this, that. Everyone is just fades away. So it gets to a point where I think Will Smith said it, like chasing your dreams is lonely. Like this is a solo pursuit a lot of times.
That's when your perspective is very, I think, imperative, because if you're basing your happiness off of like your validation, as far as especially from your community, and that's one thing to acknowledge it, because it's like, of course it feels great for people to fuck with you, but it's like if it's one of them things it's gonna really fuck your day up when niggas stop fucking with you, it's gonna be a long road, bro. I feel like it's to me it's like quantifiable information, like when we talk about the numbers and stuff like that. Like for me, I don't care. When I say I don't care about numbers, it's like if my single's not getting a bunch of plays, I'm not gonna lose sleep. As a person, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, what the fuck do we need to do to get this shit going? But that's more like the business aspect. But like you have some people like for example, I know when I like really started getting into it like early, like 18, 19, other people around me who was rapping, like it'd be crazy because like to me they'd be like, yeah, I can't wait to be famous. Like it's people who really say, and it's funny because one of those people is actually famous now, but not for music, for something else. So you gotta be careful when you speak up. But like to me, like that's kind of wild. Like what's your perspective? It's like I just like, and again, me personally, I just love music. Like I'll take what comes with it, but like my goal is not for hella motherfuckers to know me. Like if that comes with it, or that's an important part of building the brand, by all means. But like I don't stay up at night like, oh, I can't wait for someone to fucking annoy me when I'm at Wawa trying to get an Italian sub at 2 a.m. And some people actually want that, which is fine for them. But, you just got to realize what comes with that perspective.
Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, it really boiled down to what he said, bro. It's like it's all about perspective and how you view it. Like local, regional, national, international, you can build out from that way. But I also know some stories of people who started in their hometown and towns outside of their city fuck with them first, and that's what caused them to pop in their hometown. So you can't necessarily ignore people in the region because your local scene isn't necessarily fucking with you or it doesn't really have a lot of support. You should still have goals. I think the goal should be to build horizontally and vertically. Like you want to reach to people who are building with you and in the same space as you, maybe even collab with people who are in other spaces like pods and stuff like that. I think that's important while you're building, but I also think it's important to have goals to land placements and to get to different places that are maybe larger than just something that you can reach per se, that you may need more strategy to achieve. It may take a little longer. I don't think that's not healthy. I think that if one comes before the other as well, then I think that's totally fine too. Like if you're trying to build horizontally, like we said in the first instance, if we're trying to build horizontally and nothing's actually sticking, then and everybody else is landing placements, you doing this, you doing that, it just may be time to move outside of where you at. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean by build horizontally?
Kind of like people that are on, you can gauge where you are well, right? And if you can gauge where you are, there are people that you will meet who are in the pursuit that are in the same,
like kind of same like level as you.
Yeah, level as you. Where you at? So you want to network and connect with those people.
I think T-Pain said that. Somebody was like, yeah, everybody wants to work and collab with people bigger than them, but they were like, it's actually more efficient to work with people at the same level as you or even a little lower than you. I forgot what their reasoning was behind that, but I feel like I've heard that before.
I just think it's important.
Yeah.
One, helping is really important to me. So if I see somebody who's really trying to pursue this thing, and they're where I was maybe 5 years ago, and I can see that, I'm not gonna not help them because I'm still in pursuit of something larger.
And also, like he's saying, like people have different goals in this shit. Like somebody might want to be famous, somebody want to be this and that. But I think ultimately for me, I want to find a way to just keep being able to do this. And eventually, like, it gets to a point where if you have to throw or focus your energy on this other career, on this other whatever job, you just really won't have time to do this anymore. You have a family now, you have folks on other things. So it's like your dreams just slip away. And it's not even maybe your dreams, it's just that thing of like that thing you had to express yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like that's really success for me. Like once I can survive off of this shit and then just be able to keep doing it, I feel like time is running out.
When you say that, what do you mean?
Like the more time that goes by and like we don't make it happen, and the back of my mind is like, I won't be able to do it forever at this level. I have to make it more sustainable. Like we're talking about shows and shit. Like, yeah, you can lose money on one or two shows, but ultimately if you want to keep doing shows, it has to become a sustainable business. Yeah. Same thing with your art. Like, so we have to create a business out of it somehow. Which like me and Karen were talking about, like, I really want to get to the point where I have other businesses outside of Off-World where I don't really even have to, I don't have to base decisions on my art, like, around money at all. I can just have whole other businesses that I'm making money funding Off-World. And then we get into, like, we can just do everything just pure off the art. You don't have to, like, bow down to advertisers or different shit like that. Which even, like, side note on advertisers, that's kind of changing too. Cause like, I mean, you've heard over time of people like, almost bowing down to advertisers. Like they censor you, whatever, silence you. Right. But I think that's getting to an end too, especially now with like, Dana White from the UFC, right? He went on Theo Von's podcast like last week and they literally, like single-handedly took down this company, Peloton. Basically, Peloton was an advertiser on Theo Von's show. He had RFK Jr. on. I don't know if you guys know who that is.
I think so.
He was running for president, JFK's nephew.
I am hip.
Basically, the advertiser Peloton hit up Theo Von, was like, yo, we want you to take this episode down. They were advertised on the episode. And I think he either maybe took it down, I can't remember. But he was like kind of taking the like nervous approach with like almost like not standing up to them. He gets Dana White on the show and tells him about it. And Dana White's literally like, yo, go fuck yourself, Peloton. They pull up the image of the CEO of Peloton, joke on him. Then because they did the pod at the UFC headquarters where they had the gym and shit. Word. Then Dana White calls his guy out the office and he's like, yo, do we have Peloton bikes in the office? He's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Get them out. Throw all the Peloton bikes out. He's like, we're not, he's like, that's what you got to do to these people. And he was like, same shit people called him, advertisers was like, something. He was like, go fuck yourself. All of that to say kind of, it's like, I feel like this is getting back to the point where the artists are in control. You know what I'm saying? Fuck a label. Fuck what everybody's telling you to do. Like a trend, an algorithm. Is getting back to the point where I feel like real artists who make shit is gonna be in the forefront again. Mm-hmm. And like we're going through a lot of shit to kind of just figure that out. I feel like I just said a lot of. I don't know where I was going with that, but
we was walking with you,
huh?
So we was walking with
something
you.
like that.
Yeah.
I get what I'm saying,
bro. I feel you though.
Yeah,
I think a lot of it has to do with the leverage that Dana White probably had in that situation too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? I think, like you said, a lot of the power is going to the artists in this season. I think because artists are recognizing that their leverage doesn't come from connections to companies and labels. That
Comes
the
from the
leverage
trust
comes
of the
from
people.
the people,
Facts.
right? So the more people that you build in your base, the more leverage you have to actually do things that you want to do and actually progress in ways that you want to progress. You know, I think people who are fans of you will be fans of you. There are people who are fans of your music. There are people who will be fans of the pod. But then there are going to be some people who are just fans of you. Like, anything you put out, it doesn't matter. I'm going to support. Those are people that I think need to be catered to.
Facts.
Because those are the ones that care. And then full circle, hence invite only. We catering to those people. You know what I'm saying? So.
But for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Invite only. Does it drop the same day as the party?
Nah, but that information will be available very, very soon.
Because we like exclusive shit on the pod.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I will say it'll be following it very, very soon after.
For sure.
You're not gonna be. It's not like we're gonna have the party then like next year. All right, I'm fucking with you. Y'all remember that
No,
party we
invite
had?
only shit? Yeah.
It was fun.
Nah.
Dance with me. Nah, it'll be very, very soon after, and also depending on when this comes out as well too.
This will be out on Monday.
Oh,
Maybe Tuesday.
perfect. So on the 30th, we're actually gonna be presenting this music as well at Slow Dive. Shout out to Q5.
Slow Dive. Didn't Slow Dive close?
Oh my God, I'm so glad you said that. I called
does
it.
it.
There's some whole other shit. Slow Jams. My apologies.
Does
It
it.
used to be at Slow Dive. Yeah, Slow Jams.
Oh wait, Slow Jams used to be at.
Slow Dive.
Okay, so just Slow Jams is an event.
Yes.
It's like
Yep.
at different venues. Okay.
Yeah. For those who do not know, it's like it's a very prestigious jam session. Now, it's a very, very well put together jam session. Great musicians there,
Shout
great
out to
singers.
Fellas.
The fellas, god
Yeah.
damn it. And it's
Go ahead.
yeah, but essentially, like let's just say you pulled up. It's usually at 8020 Burger Bar in Norfolk. Literally, you just pull up. They're usually grooving, playing some cool shit. If you got an instrument, you can pull up and play with them. Pause. If you're a singer, usually it's a lot of singers that pull up. Great singers that usually pull up. If you got some bars, you can pull up. I just seen a nigga there in the tube top dancing hard. He was having a great time. Now he was cool. He was actually really cool.
For sure.
Tube top. Like
Dancing hard.
Wife beater?
Nah.
What's a tube top?
Stomach out.
Stomach out.
Yeah, chest covered.
Okay, half a wife beater.
Crop top.
Bottom of the ribs out. Top of the ribs covered.
Top of the wife beater.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, random jam session that I thought it was like a rare shit, which was like really fire. It was you on saxophone. It's something I was at Disc Freak. One of the Disc Freaks I was at Slow Dive before it shut down.
Yeah.
You on sax, Sonny Moonshine on vocals. I want to say Gary was on guitar. Who was bro on drums?
Maybe Wilkes.
Nah.
It wasn't Wilkes.
Nah,
It was bro. He be with Sonny a lot.
Oh,
A big dude, kind of. Fuck, what's bro name? I met him so many times. Anyways, that
I know
was
you
like I
talking
thought
about
that was a really
Sonny,
cool
yeah.
like random jam session.
Oh yeah. Nah. Shout out to Sunny. Anytime she asks me to play, it's a great time.
You see the things we've been doing with her recently, the content,
I-
the masterclass and the.
I haven't gotten tapped in. I saw it was something where she had like the wild accent.
Hal Rachinsky. She has this character she made.
Yo.
He
I
has,
fuck with that creativity that you doing too.
Yeah.
Just letting people just go.
bro. The crazy part is that was really all her. We really did this random skit where she was like played 3 different characters, and one of them was this dude Hal Rachinsky. This guy, he's a director, and she was like, "Yo, I want to bring Hal back." So we just did a bunch of spin-offs with bro, and yeah.
It's funny
I
because
fuck with Sonny.
we be doing shit like that casually.
Yeah.
Like we got like the Southern Cat,
Oh, bro.
MAP, the notorious MAP.
Oh, also, I want to ask you too. Okay, so Andre 3000 just dropped a flute album. I couldn't help but to think, like, would Skuzii ever do a all sax album or some type of thing with no vocals on it? Like,
Yeah,
That would be cool.
we've actually talked about that I'm definitely. I believe we're all kind of on the same wavelength where it's like niggas would like to do it, but it has to make sense musically. Like it can't just be like me like posing like this with a saxophone and shit.
On the cover?
Yeah, and then it's like just like random like jazz or whatever, which I do love jazz. I mean, cause like I'm like trained on saxophone. I've been playing since I was like 10. And I went to school for that, so I can play any genre. That's one of my other jobs too. Like you could also book me, but I do like events and shit like that. For tomorrow, I'm playing for like a 90th birthday Caribbean party. So I'm playing like calypso, soca, reggae, and shit like that. But I can do
Along with the band or just like solo sax?
just me, and then I got like backing tracks and stuff. But that being said, if we do a project, I would want to make sure like it's not like that. Like it still has to be creative. It would still have to be something that makes sense for us creatively, where we're still doing shit that's relative to our brand. And 'cause honestly, I just don't want to put out like a corny like elevator jazz album just because we wanted to capitalize on me playing the sax. Like it's gotta make sense. We gotta want to do it.
I feel like I want to do a saxophone skit with you if you fuck with it.
That'd be fire.
On some shit where like you really don't even talk in it. It could be other like stuff going around and you're kind of like you're speaking with the saxophone. Like you'll be playing certain shit that's going with the vibes, and it's like I have no idea what it's gonna be, but I feel like that might be cool.
If it makes sense, I'll fuck with it. Yeah. I'm always down to do some creative shit as long as it makes sense. Like for example, I'm not gonna say who, you know who you are, and you know him too. I had a very good friend of mine did a music video, and I was asked to get put in the trunk. I was like, I'm sorry, brother. I will support you in every other way, but you're not about to throw me in a goddamn trunk.
Oh, some just like kidnap shit.
We didn't get too deep into the details.
He cut it off right there.
I appreciated that
he
he was very, very forthcoming about what they wanted to do. And I appreciate that. Because sometimes niggas be like, yo, you want me in the video for that? You pull up, niggas got...
Get in the trunk real quick.
Yeah, they got the bondage kit.
Hop in the trunk.
Nobody's
ever
ever
shot. It's like Dave Chappelle had a skit about that where he was talking about being a comedian and niggas always want you to do good. Also, not saying that was this situation. Shout out to the homie. Very good person. But you do have some people that like, especially if you do certain shit or like funny shit, motherfuckers want you to be goofy. And it's like, we can be funny and lean into the comedy shit, but it's like Dave Chappelle, he was talking about Snoop Dogg, was like, hey, Dave, I want you to be in this video and you trying to dance with the girls and then you slip in some doo-doo. And then you fall in the doo-doo like splat. And then I walk in slow motion and my feet is going over you and I'm wearing my gaiters, my now and later gaiters. And then you got the doo-doo on you and you rolling around in the doo-doo. And it's like, obviously he was joking. But
how high was Snoop when he thought of this idea? He was like, bro, this the one. Like, bro gonna really fuck with this
the
shit.
Chappelle show. Too.
Niggas be asking crazy, goofy shit of motherfuckers. I will say that's not too far off, honestly. But yeah, that's why it's like it's always about as long as things make sense and motherfuckers are not being exploited.
Yeah,
like I've had people ask me to like do like not like what you're saying, but like saxophone shit for something like they might.
There will not be any doo doo in the saxophone skit.
Would there be some shit literally just playing? Somebody throw some feces at me. Everybody's dying.
But also, side note on sax too, I feel like you had the video of you performing. You and my name Brian did the live performance here.
Yeah,
just. You was playing sax with Chrissy, how what she was wearing and the ski mask. It just looked hard as fuck. I don't know if anybody ever looked harder like playing sax.
And it's crazy because it was like there was like we planned the whole concept for that. Like everything had meaning in that. But that's why I like doing.
I will say a funny part about that live performance.
Right,
I might
do.
put that in the is your friend. What was the girl's name that was rolling up the whole time?
She will not be mentioned.
She was like she never rolled the blunt. She was rolling the blunt the whole thing. It was like 10, 15 minutes long. Like she never finishes the blunt. I'm thinking if I was a viewer, I'm like, can she roll? Like, do they put somebody in this shit that can't roll? Like,
who is this bitch?
But yeah, I fuck with it. Anything else you guys want to add? Like, what you? I know I seen you've been doing a lot of stuff with Samo. No One Ever. Wilk's been working with him. I actually tapped in earlier. He had a video where he was like singing on the back of like a bike. Some girl, you seen that?
For sure.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Fuck with that.
No doubt, bro. He's cooking. He's cooking.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I just kind of seen. I really found out about him through Wilkes.
Yeah, man. Grateful to be a part. We was just up in New York for the album release, a more just release. So I was a part of that. Produced a bit on it. Did all of the mixing and mastering for that joint. So yeah, we just building. That's bro though, So aside from the music, that's just family. So it doesn't even whatever is needed to make things continue to keep going. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So that's normally how it goes, and we just been building since the first album and the first time I was kind of locked in. So yeah, it's been cool though. It's been good.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, look, I appreciate you guys. Invite only. On the fucking way. Anything else you want to add, bro? Anything else you want to touch on?
Follow your dreams.
Follow them shit.
Nah, but dead ass though. Keep your motherfucking head up. I know we getting seasonal depression times.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're feeling
It
down,
is. I have been feeling a little frustrated lately.
bro, it's something in the
I told
motherfucking
Karen, I was
air.
like, bro, I prayed about it yesterday.
Keep going, man.
Yeah, the weird negative
I don't know why I'm
energy
laughing
and
at that, but yeah.
And this negative energy, the fucking Diddy sex parties and shit, weird shit is going on.
I don't know.
Chill, bro.
No,
What
that
do they
is
call it?
wild.
The Freak Fest or some shit
No,
like that?
did he just got
Freak boy?
charged?
Like, what do you call that shit?
He got charged for the shit.
Yeah, there's it's some serious shit. They
Some serious shit.
Investigations going on.
yeah, what did he call them parties? He was like, there was like freaky fuck or something, freaky something.
I don't know.
50 Cent
time.
ain't waste no time posting a meme. Academics posting about it. Like academics on something like, let me not say shit because people. He's like people been. I seen somebody was like, they put a picture of J. Cole on a bike. It was like J. Cole got one beef with Diddy and hasn't got in the car since, like or some shit like that.
Hey man, gotta be careful.
Like, yo. But that goes. I don't know. I really don't want to put no smut on bro name. I don't know what the fuck going on with that.
It's on their investigation.
But there is a lot of weird stuff in the industry. You know what I'm saying? We've been hearing about it, not just him, but in general.
Hard drugs.
Which is part of this new phase. I feel like we're in a new era. We're getting to this new era. Part of it is going to be, I think, artists back in control, and part of it is going to be like good people, back in positions of power.
Damn sure.
Like people who, you know what I'm saying, who actually want to help people and do what's right.
Yeah, man.
So yeah.
With it.
I appreciate you guys for coming through. These guys' links will be in the description.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys for tuning in.
I'm over there looking at you.
Invite only the album. You can book Skuzii for play saxophone at events.
Hell yeah. But I'm not gonna slip in no doo-doo.
No doo-doo involved, please.
Oh,
You people can like hit you up for like mastering
production,
and mixing and shit.
mixing,
Production.
mastering, recording, anything like that. Holla at me. You know
Hell
what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Thank you guys. I love to see you guys still going. Like I said, these people that are like, we are trying to get to the world. So, but we're inspired by people around here that we see continuing going. That pushes me to keep going too. So,
Appreciate you for having me, man.
May I add one more thing?
What's good?
I can't believe I didn't say anything the whole time. Don't ask about the octopus.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. We dropping new shit every month. Every month, man. I got on the spooky season things right now. But we recently dropped the lovely butterscotch hoodies, man. We got the yellow on brown.
Nah, I'm glad you brought that up because you had me so fucking weak.
Oh,
It's the
sweater
content,
shit. What was
bro.
it? What was it called? The pumpkin spice?
Yeah, pumpkin spice.
He said, yes, they were black. I was like, yo. He threw the washcloths away.
Yes.
He fucking, what else he did? I don't know. That had me really weak, though.
You know what's funny? The funny thing is the preparation, because obviously Bruce helped me film it, and I was my list of random like Caucasian activities, which obviously was a longer list than that, and we're like,
it really was. I was like, yo, is he still going? There was like 10 things on there.
there was so much more, and some of them a little more offensive. So we kind of ran through them, and I'm just like, so you think we should throw away the washcloths? Like, and it was funny. What I liked was everybody was cool. Like no one like was like. Man, like everybody, like including my white homies, was just like, ha ha. But nah, I got a lot of love on that shit, and that was fun too. And we wasn't doing that to like get no whole bunch of views. I thought it was just some funny shit, and it's crazy. It ended up picking up a lot of traction. But that's what happens when you wear it. Don't ask about the octopus apparel. Good things just happen to you. My score went up 80 points today. It's because I was wearing this.
Credit score?
Credit score. 80
Hell
points.
Yeah. I feel like bro would know because he used to work at the bank. He knows a little something about credit scores.
It's because of the merch.
Hello?
Because of the
That's
merch.
it.
It's because of the merch. It's good
Hell
merch.
yeah.
It's
New merch
good
out
shit.
now. You heard it. It does not make you racist. Hell yeah. See you guys soon.
Racist if you're black, you can be racist.
Thank you guys. Peace.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate
yeah,
you.
thank you.
Much love, dog.
Come on.